What's fueling the fire of American social change today? Welcome into my channel The State Report. Keep like and share with subscribe, show your love in comments. The heart of American social change and try to uncover what's really fueling the fire today. Social change is a fundamental part of America's fabric. From civil rights to women's rights, from environmental activism to racial equality, social movements have been shaping society and pushing for a better tomorrow. And today, we're witnessing a new wave of social change that's more diverse, more complex, and more urgent than ever. The administration's response to Hamas's brutal attack on October 7 has had three main objectives. First, it has sought to convey steadfast support for Israel, backing it rhetorically, conferring regularly with top Israeli officials, defending it against accusations of genocide, vetoing ceasefire resolutions in the United Nations Security Council, and providing it with a steady supply of lethal armaments. Second, Washington has tried to prevent the conflict in Gaza from escalating. Lastly, it has tried to convince Israel to act with restraint, both to limit harm to Palestinian civilians and to minimize the damage to the United States' image and reputation. We're faced with a multitude of challenges that threaten our very way of life. Inequality is on the rise, with the richest 1% holding more wealth than the entire middle class. Climate change is ravaging our planet, from devastating hurricanes to deadly wildfires. And systemic racism continues to plague our institutions, perpetuating discrimination and injustice. These problems are pressing, they're complex, and they're interconnected. But they're not unfixable. The fact is, social change is often a response to social crisis. It's when people come together, mobilize, and demand better that we start to see real progress. We saw it with the Civil Rights Movement, we saw it with the Women's March, and we're seeing it now with the Black Lives Matter movement. The stakes are high, but the momentum is building. People are waking up, they're getting informed, and they're taking action. But in order to create lasting change, we need to understand the intricacies of the problems we're facing. We need to listen to the voices of those most affected, and we need to work together to find solutions. Technology has been a game changer in the world of social change. Social media platforms have given us the tools to organize, to mobilize, and to amplify marginalized voices. Activists are using Twitter to spread their message, Instagram to create awareness, and Facebook to build communities. The impact has been profound. We've seen protests swell from online campaigns, and we've seen policymakers respond to online pressure. But it's not just technology that's driving social change. Activism is on the rise, with people from all walks of life taking to the streets, attending town halls, and contacting their representatives. Cultural shifts are also playing a significant role, as we see a growing awareness of social justice issues and a willingness to confront our own biases. From #MeToo to #NeverAgain, social movements are harnessing the power of collective action to create real change. And it's not just about the big moments, it's about the everyday acts of resistance, the quiet acts of defiance, and the ongoing struggle for justice. One of the most impactful moments in recent American social change was the massive protests following the murder of George Floyd. The sheer scale of the demonstrations, the diversity of the crowds, and the clarity of the message, that Black Lives Matter, was a watershed moment in our nation's history. It showed us that, when we come together, when we raise our voices, and when we demand justice, we can create real change. So what can we take away from this deep dive into American social change? We've seen the complexity of the problems, the power of collective action, and the importance of understanding the dynamics of social change. We've seen that social change is not just about grand moments, but about the daily struggles, the quiet acts of resistance, and the ongoing fight for justice. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the heart of American social change. If you've got thoughts on what's fueling the fire today, drop them in the comments below. And if you're curious about more social issues or movements, be sure to check out our next video.